The
Hello?
event is
Test,
done.
test. Okay.
The event is done.
All right, I'm gonna start going through these one at a time, top down. What are my thoughts on saying this is hurting servers in development, or hurting them in their server development, meaning that they have to pay to work on their server despite not having the need for the player slots or extra RAM? Somebody suggested doing like a development plan where you have one slot, but you can have unlimited plugins. I think that's interesting. But at the same time, I also think that you can vote for a couple of days to be able to develop your server. Um, and I don't think that we're going to do anything about that immediately, but I think it's a fair point. And I think we'll keep an eye on how server development is going, and maybe we implement a development plan like that in the future. But for now, I don't think we're going to. Are you guys aware that multiple networks hosted on Minehut that make up a somewhat big chunk of your player base are leaving Minehut? Most of our players are survival, SMP survival players. So I mean, that sucks that people are leaving. I know that our 24/7 plan right now is more expensive than other servers. We want to get that cheaper, but we also have a very big network. So I wish them luck wherever they're going, but it doesn't mean that we're going to make any changes. What was the intent to first make plugins free and now make server plans? The intent to make plugins free was that it wasn't really ethical to be charging for plugins directly. Even though it technically didn't violate any license, I don't like doing things that are just technically okay but not really okay. Um, so that's why we got rid of that, even though that made up, I think, like 70% of our revenue at the time. And the reason to make server plans is because we've grown a lot lately, and the plans that we had before that were daily upgrades didn't lead to many people upgrading at all. Most people were just running free servers. Something like 99.98% of people just run a free server. So now these plans make it a lot more enticing to be able to actually pay for something and get something out of it. Are you feeling that you've done something right after adding server plans? I don't even, are you aware that your player base is going to suck? Like, I mean, I don't think that those are really valid questions. Can you do anything to fix this update or make it better for the community? We're not changing anything immediately. Most players on Minehut are just playing on survival. We've actually already had many servers upgrade, and the people that were paying uh, have it a lot easier now. Actually, they're able to get a lot more for their money. I know that the people that it did really affect though are the people that were trying to develop a small server with a bunch of plugins, and I understand that this update is tough for them. But I think that this will help Minehut grow even more, because we'll be able to invest more back into it. What are some things that I know will be changed shortly? We're releasing a new navigation for the site, and then we're also kind of like redesigning it, some pieces of it to be more mobile friendly. So as we start pushing Bedrock more, which we're going to look at hiring some influencers to do, we're going to be um, we're going to make sure that everything works better for mobile. So that's one thing. The updated nav. So we're right now, whenever we want to like advertise something or make sure everybody sees it, we have to put it in that website header, where it's just like some text and emoji, and then you can click on it. So we're going to make it easier to find things on the site. So we're going to kind of update the navigation a little bit. Otherwise, the things that we're going to be working on next are potentially a marketplace where you could like host a build or a server template or some like even premium plugins, and then some of them will be free, and then some of them people can pay for to install on their server, very similar to the official Minecraft marketplace. So we're going to be building something like that. And then another suggestion that's come in recently that I think that we should build, that we haven't yet designed, but we're talking about it, is a credit store, where somebody like you could host a credit equivalent of Minecraft on your Minehut server. So we're looking at that as well. What are advertisements and servers going to look like? Ad panels. You must be using AdBlock. Luke said that Superleague bought Minehut to expand its player base, not to make money. Why go back on this? Are you guys losing money because of Minehut? Minehut is not extremely profitable. It is a freemium service. Right now, we need to be able to afford all the growth that we've had recently. And Luke said at Superleague bought Minehut to explain its player base. Minehut had 90,000 users and 800 concurrent users when we bought Minehut, and when we started running it. So yes, it's growing. Will the plans be changing over time? For example, to match what people have used most often recently at the time? Yes, absolutely. We will be either adding more plans, updating the plans that we currently have. I did a lot of digging into which plans people actually purchased from before to help inform which plans we should go live with initially. It was something like our middle three plans were only responsible for like 2% of purchases. People were mostly purchasing the first two in the top plan. So that's why we went with the plans that we did. And yes, absolutely, we'll see how people use things, and we'll of course change. What was up with people's worlds getting cleared? We saw some issues with that, but everyone that we actually looked into was just that somebody's world got renamed. I'm not sure exactly why that happened. We started looking into it a little bit this morning, but I haven't caught up on all those messages that the developers were talking about. But I know that Ashley has a list of everybody that reported that issue, and I believe sent a response to anybody that sent in a ticket or sent her a message about it, explaining kind of how to fix it if it's a world issue, and if not, to let us know and we'll take a look at it. Was that all resolved, or did people lose their data? I actually didn't see any instances where anybody actually lost data. What I saw was that for some reason people's worlds were like renamed or something, but I didn't actually see anybody that lost data. Are you aware that buying a plan also has a chance to delete all plugin configs? It doesn't delete plugin configs. I'm not sure what you mean. Um, that's not a thing. Making the plugins free made a huge increase in players due to the amount of things you could do. Yes, we saw that, but we also see that over 95% of our users use fewer than 12 plugins. So I don't think that this will stunt the growth too much, since it doesn't impact most of the new users that we've been seeing. Ranks will never give you perks on like the servers that you host or other player servers. They're only for the lobby. I already addressed the resetting servers. What difference will it make if you set the plugin limit to 20 instead of 12? Fewer people would need to pay anything, and people would be able to kind of like build a server that they're monetizing without needing to pay us anything. So that's where we're not, and then we would only be like if we set it to 20, that would only be impacting 1% of users. So that's why we went with 12. Are you planning to add an unlimited plan instead of monthly for people who don't want to pay monthly? Um, I I'm not sure what you mean. Feel free to re-ask that again. The unlimited plan, like the unlimited plan is that you can pay for your server 24/7 and have it up. Will 24/7 eventually make its way into lower tier servers? Potentially. Like I said earlier, we'll see how people are using things. I know that if you're in the meta Discord, I posted something about like making it so people could configure their own server plans rather than giving set server plans. We did some research into that, and I don't. We kind of came to the conclusion that um, that wasn't the approach for most of our users, even though I know that for some of you guys, that is a lot easier to understand and a lot better for you guys. But for most of our players, it would make the buying decision a little bit harder and just add some friction. So that's why we didn't go with that initially. But again, we are definitely open to changing the tiers based on how people are using them. How will I be able to advertise my server to a more broad platform? Minehut gives you millions of players to advertise to every single month. That's more than the Minecraft server list. So yes. I believe I already talked about why we went to 12 plugins. I already addressed the developer plan. Let me read Dynamite's message. If you're having issues with like plugins registering things or scripts not working or something like that, like we didn't update any plugins with this. If like I know that we run our own custom version of script, just because we had to patch a few things for security issues. There's always a chance that we're just not on the latest version or something like that, and we need to update it. So we can take a look into that. I already addressed the slots from 20. How do I feel about the servers that bought themselves to display higher in the server list? I don't like that. We've kind of talked a lot about that as a staff and what to do about it, and it's kind of hard, like we've never really come up with a good solution. But I will say that I don't like it, and I have a feeling that it's going to become more prevalent now. These updates or with this update, so we'll probably need to do something about it. Are you aware that I can get 24/7 for free on other hosts? Cool. I yes. I'm not sure like what you expect me to say there, other or what you can do. Your free server can also be 24/7 if there's already somebody online. How do I like this new update? I love it. I'm the one that worked on it here. Thoughts on having plugin slots, which you could buy like server slots icons. For example, you don't need the player slots, but you don't want to spend X amount to just get unlimited plugins. Um, I places you don't want to spend. Oh, I see. Oh, so just being able to buy more plugins. That's interesting. It's only 25 cents a day to do it right now, so I think it's incredibly cheap. Um, so I think that we're sort of addressing that, but I see that I think your suggestion addresses it a little bit more directly. So I'm not going to say yes to it right now, but like I think that's very interesting, and I'm not going to rule it out. Plugin cap increase from 12 to 15. I already explained why we have the plugin cap where it's at. One, earn enough money will everything go back. Minehut is a business, and we're a business. We need to make money. We will obviously always try to do things as cheap as possible for you guys, so that way you can do as much as you can for free or for as cheap as possible. But we definitely need to make money, and if we had something that made us a bunch of money, I don't think that we would stop doing that. Why was my server reset? I believe I answered that already. Did the amount of premium servers go down since the update? It actually like went up 10x. Um, what's the future with featured servers in the server list? So that's actually another thing that we've been talking about. I know that we used to do featured servers, but we didn't really promote them enough to make it worth it, and it was like it was a lot of work, and we didn't get much out of it. Neither did the servers, so that's why we discontinued it. So we were talking about potentially auctioning off those slots on the server list, so that way people that do want to grow their server have an easy way to promote it really front and center and not need to bot their server to be able to get it to the front of the server list. And then otherwise, potentially having community featured servers or something like that, maybe. But I don't think in the near term there's going to be anything where we pick like just community curated servers and put them on the front page there. Um, so why are you deleting goodbye posts? Why can't those people just say their goodbyes before leaving? I mean, I think you can imagine that we don't want new users coming in and just seeing nothing like goodbye posts. Stop deleting criticism on the forums. Uh, I the only criticism that we delete on the forums is when people swear or do something that breaks the rules. But criticizing us isn't breaking the rules, and we don't delete that. If your post was deleted, it was breaking the rules. Do you think buffing the cosmetic ranks is a valid route for monetization? I mean, we did kind of give them a slight update a little bit ago. I, I don't think that many people are interested in purchasing them. They don't get that many purchases, and not that many users have them. So and the users that do have them mostly buy them from credits that they get for free. Not many people actually buy credits and then spend those credits on ranks. I think that yes, we can definitely add more things, but I don't think it's gonna have as big of an impact as things like these server plans or a marketplace or a credit store. Um, Mine has severely rested on the model that this is free server hosting for all players. With this recent update, it doesn't make that statement valid. Um, I I would completely disagree with this statement in that Mina is still a free service, and the only thing that we limit you to are plugins. We don't limit your disk space. We don't limit how often your server's up, and we never have a queue to be able to start your server. Um, so I don't necessarily agree with that. Are you aware that doing these server plans current way prompts unoriginality? Um, I don't necessarily agree with that. I actually know that a lot of people are kind of already planning on the changes that in different kinds of servers that they're going to make. So if anything, I would say it kind of did the opposite. Will the marketplace support both Bedrock and Java items? Yeah, I mean, it'll support anything that runs on our servers. So I imagine that some of those will be built more toward Bedrock users, but our servers are hosted on uh, Java servers. So like they'll have to run on Java. Very disappointing that script add-ons aren't free. I mean, I addressed this in the meta Discord, so I'll address it here as well though. The and like the reason that we set the plugin limit where we did is because we kind of looked into how people are using Minehut, and we made sure that we were mostly only impacting the people that are already trying to build and monetize our servers. And the reason that we're not making any plugins free is that if we were to do that, we would have just made the plugin limit lower. And then there would be consistent arguments or constant arguments about people being like, hey, this plugin should be free. Why is that plugin free if this one isn't? So just avoiding that debate completely and set the limit at 12 rather than setting it lower and having that debate. Um, yes, script add-ons cost plugin slot, of course. Oh, .lang. Yeah, I know that you requested that a few times. Yeah, we have a few file extension updates that we need to do. What is going to be done about BS support tickets? Molly and Ashley respond to thousands of support tickets every single week. They do a great job. There's the people that spam it just get banned, and like their email gets blocked from the service. A Minehut app. We don't have any immediate plans for it. I don't know that it's will do that much for us in the short term. If anybody has an idea why it would help us a lot or something, I would definitely be open to it. But we don't have any immediate plans for it. A non-credit based payment option. I'm not really sure what you mean, so maybe you want to re-ask that. But right now we only accept PayPal. We're looking into other platforms that would let you pay with more things. But like it has to be real money. Your world got wiped. I talked about that earlier. Can we make support tickets on Discord so we have live support? If we did that, it would only be able to be for our paid users. Like we already have 4 people manning our support tickets for free users, and we push people to keep the community support because it's a free service. We can't afford to have pay for support. Yes, we would have people pay for support. Where plugin add-ons come with installing script. I just addressed that. I'm not going to read a Camel case message. Scamming bannable in marketplace. I mean, if people are scamming people, I mean, they can create a player report. If they're using Minehut to scam people, that's not okay. But it's also difficult for us to do anything about stuff that happens off of Minehut. And I would encourage you to maybe make a dispute with like your payment provider because they're built to handle that kind of stuff. Will there ever be an event for like the developers to get their name out in the community, like a script wars or something along those lines? I think we were going to open up an event suggestions forum, so I'd encourage you to suggest something like that with some ideas on how we could do it. Another camel case message. Consider the timing of the release of this update. A lot of parents are struggling with money. I would also say, like I said before, um, no one's really paying for advertising, so advertising isn't making much money right now, like the ads on the forums. It's definitely bringing us in some money, but it's not as much as we were hoping it would be. Um, and I would also say that during this time, we've more than tripled in size, and we need to be able to pay for that tripling in size. And that's why we've continued to make it so you can host your server for free and not have to wait. Lifetime plans have a monthly plan. No, we pay for our servers monthly. If anything, we might do like we looked at potentially doing like a quarterly or a yearly plan or something like that at a steep discount. That would be reasonable, but we wouldn't do a lifetime plan. Are we seeing increased revenue? Yes, like we've had 10 times more people upgrade their server than a normal day. Can you return the credits that was used so we can use it for monthly plans? No, you've already gotten what you've paid for. Would it be possible to make it to where serverless, it could have a weekly and daily section where maybe you can vote on your personal player experience with the server to make the serverless more balanced? Like on our side, I don't. Um, the serverless website that we have, we get a decent amount of traffic to it, but I'm not sure that that's like the main way that people get players. We see a lot more people coming from the in-game list, and I think that we're going to continue to sort that by player count. Third-party servers back. I've actually had a few big servers contact me about it, especially now that kind of everybody in the Minecraft community knows about Minehut, including all the other big servers. Um, I would say it's kind of it's a security risk because we would need to make sure that that they're part of our network just like any other server, and then just the way that we're currently hosting everything within Minehut's locked down completely, so it wouldn't really be possible. And then the bandwidth would also be really expensive unless they were hosted at the same data center as us. So it would be more expensive than it would be reasonable to pay for right now. But I wouldn't completely rule it out, but it's not going to happen in the short term. A voting system on the server list. I kind of addressed that. Potentially, but I don't know that that would help us that much in the short term. Will the marketplace credit store take a cut mine up for sales? Yes, of course. That's how we would make money. We would probably take less than Microsoft does for their store. But yeah, I mean, we would take a cut of it, and then but I mean, we would also be hosting it, providing you with all of your customers, and then we would likely be helping with disputes as well. Um, a marketplace section, yeah, exactly. Yes, yes, I want to do that. No, if you were host like initially when we release a marketplace, it'll likely only be for things that Minehut hosts and creates, but in the future we would do it where people could like anybody could upload, or maybe like you'd have to apply or be invited to upload because and then we of course need to like approve things and make sure that there aren't any security issues with anything people are adding. But yeah, it would be where people would be paid out with real money. Because I like my vision for it and kind of what we've been talking about lately is like it would be like the kind of like the junior varsity or the JV of the official marketplace, since obviously we're not going to be as big as Realms. But yes, like you would be able to be paid out real money for it. Are you concerned about how many people are leaving? Our player count was higher for a lot of the day today than it was yesterday. Um, are new server types and versions possible in the future? Not the near future, but yes, it's possible. The way that Minehut works though is like there's a set of plugins and there's a single server jar. So we would have to rewrite a lot of our backend to be able to handle that. So it's a pretty big update. And most players are playing on the latest version anyway, so that's why we haven't really prioritized it. But I wouldn't rule it out. I would say that the reason that I've been thinking of adding it, or that we've been talking about adding it, is to allow Forge and modded servers, because the work to add modded servers would be the same as adding, support for different versions. So it would just be hosting a different server jar that has different plugins that go with it, basically. But to be honest, we're also not doing a great job of keeping up with our existing plugins, which we've been working on doing better at, or getting better at. So I don't want to add more versions for us to keep up with until we're also better at keeping up with our current one. More developers to the team. We actually have 5 people working on Minehut right now. Um, that's we have more people than we've ever had working on Minehut right now. So yes, I know that in the past we haven't really released many features. I would say a lot of that's because we've had to kind of rewrite a lot of Minehut in the last year and a half that we've had it. We've also grown a lot, so we've had a lot of growing pains. Obviously, we've had a couple of data wipes, and those led us to kind of having to do a lot on security. Whenever we've gotten going on feature development in the past, things kind of set us back like that, that we had to pause on it for a bit. But now we kind of we have one guy that just works on infrastructure, and then we have other people working on feature development, and then we have another guy just working on the mobile design right now. Can you directly state in marketplace that you're not supposed to ask for builders and building? I don't really manage the Discord rules that much. I let the staff handle that. Um, are there any restrictions blocking users from having full access to their Minehut server? We're going to make some updates to the file manager in the future that allow you to update files or upload files directly there, including zips. That'll allow you to do a little bit more. And yeah, I think we can add that you can download files directly as well. I'll have to pay $5 a month versus buying credits and paying through credits. I don't think we're going to do that right now, just because it's nice for people to be able to buy credits. But if we see that that's causing issues for people, yeah, we could add a direct way to pay. The other thing that we could potentially do is if you try to subscribe to it and you don't have enough credits or something like that, it will just, whenever you need to, it will auto renew your credits. Make it to where the winter events would receive small credits. I think we've done that before, but we've also given out a lot of credits to the point where even if people are paying for a lot of things with credits on the panel, we're not actually bringing in much money because people just have so many credits. So we're trying to be a little bit more careful about how many credits we give out, how often. I already addressed the plugin limit. Plan between daily and monthly, weekly at the same rate. I mean, our monthly plan right now is as expensive as the daily plans were for about 10 days for most of them. So I would say that that's kind of what the monthly plans are. But I said needed a credit card connected. I mean, we only accept PayPal right now, so that's the only way to buy credits. And like any issues with that, you would have to take PayPal. But yeah, we're looking at adding some other payment providers that would let you pay with like a credit card directly, or with like gift cards or something. I think Roblox uses Xsola, which is we've reached out to them recently to see if we can talk to them about implementing it on Minehut. About the meta Discord, that's just a suggestions Discord and a bug reporting Discord. I'm fine with anybody joining that. We're just a little bit more strict with rules there about spam and stuff like that. We don't like mute or kick people if anybody breaks a rule. We just perma ban them from there. But I mean, the reason that we deleted the invite last night is because people were like rating it and not using it for its purpose. So we just put a pause on that. But we'll put the tag back in Discord soon. Are people actually using one-time payments? I just canceled the subscription to save money. Yeah, more people use one-time payments and subscriptions. Can you add it so you can pause a subscription? Like if your server goes down, can you pause a 1-month plan? No, I mean, if you're not going to need it for the whole month, then I would say don't pay for a month. Other services don't really offer that. Can you make a Minehut script tutorial on pagination? Yeah, it's to be honest with like everything going on recently, it's been harder for me to record tutorials and spend the time preparing for them. So we've been looking and trying to find some more help for that. But yeah, I think we can get back into tutorials. Please post a non-camel case message if you want a response. Market similar to Spigot. I mean, yeah, there would be there would be free and premium resources. I would imagine that the free ones would be mostly Minehut ones. Like I would love to have like an anti-grief template and things like that for your server. And then we could also take a lot of the work that's on like Planet Minecraft and stuff, and then just let you one-click install for free rather than having to try to upload and then running into an up file or like a file size limit. Why 12 as the plugin limit? I again like we found that 95% of users that are on free plans using plugins are using 12 or fewer. And the ones that we looked into, most of them we saw that those were servers that were monetizing. So we felt that 12 was a pretty good spot where people playing with a couple of friends that are just trying to make it like an SMP server or something can still do that, but people that are trying to grow their community and monetize have to pay something. Can we get more daily plans in the future? Yeah, again, like we'll see how people are using things, but I don't know that a daily plan makes much more sense for like a higher one, just because if you know if it's 25 cents for the daily plan right now, and it's I think was it just under $5 for the first paid plan. But yeah, I think it would be reasonable to have something in the middle. We'll see how people use it. Will server ever be added back? Yeah, so that was removed for some security reasons, but I think we're close to being able to add that back. I can't give an ETA or anything like that, but yes, we want to add that back. I know that like that's the way for people to make networks and be able to connect their service together in Minehut, so I really want to be able to bring that back, especially now that we have the unlimited plan. Users can use their personal made plugins on Minehut servers. That's just a security consideration. We can't let people upload their own plugins. But if there's a plugin on Spigot or something like that, yes, we add pretty much anything that people suggest that's hosted on Spigot. Why don't you guys use something like Spigot? Yeah, actually, Minecoder is working on a system for that. Server, I just talked about server. I've already talked about script add-ons counting towards the limit. By a specific amount of credits. I kind of alluded to that, but yeah, potentially making it so yeah, you can buy credits at however many you want, just at maybe the cheapest rate that credits or the most expensive rate that credits are sold for. But it's a little bit cheaper to buy credits in bulk. But yeah, I can see the need for needing to buy like 100 more credits or something like that. Any future plans for donor cosmetics? I talked about that a little bit earlier. No immediate plans, but I think that we could do some incremental updates. I just don't think that that's going to be a huge game changer for us. Monetary script that allows you to start up your servers or directly interact with the public API. I mean, you can make if we bring back slash server, you can make networks within Minehut. So maybe we ask that with some more detail if you want me to elaborate. It's not that hard to make Minehut secure. Okay, I would disagree. I mean, other hosts give you full SFTP access to allow your server to upload custom plugins. Other hosts aren't a shared network, so that's why. Make plugin updates any quicker? Yeah, we're working on a more automated system to handle plugin updates because right now we're pretty lackluster at it, to be honest. Any update on the Minehut version of Bycraft? that it wouldn't be implemented into the marketplace. It would be something separate. But I think we already have some designs ready to build the marketplace out. So I think that'll be one of the next features we start on. But I've been working the last couple of days on kind of designing what a credit store could be like. What about a biweekly? I mean, our plans are already pretty cheap, so I'm not sure that we need to add that now. But I think that's kind of goes back to we'll see how people use the plans, and if they aren't using what we have, or there's a need for what we're not offering, then I would say yes, we can definitely change them. Um, the daily plan is more expensive than 1 month of the plan with the same stats. Yeah, it's obviously cheaper to buy for a month. A weekly plan with no price difference. Can I expand on the security issues? No, of course not. Um, will there be a way to add bungee cord option? Once we bring back slash server, you'll be able to do like connect your servers again automatically. But for like the global player count and stuff like that, that's interesting. I know that somebody suggested that a couple of weeks ago. Potentially, I think we could look into that, but it wouldn't be that straightforward. Um, but on that note, I think one thing that goes along with that is allowing people to have a custom server icon in your like in the client server list, not just like an item server list or whatever in game. So we've kind of looked into that a little bit, and we just have to make a patch to our custom bungee. So I think that we could potentially do that. Why was rank tracking disabled via a login method? I can't remember why we disabled that exactly, but we're gonna, I think, stop sending certain things to player servers. Um, right now, no, we're not going to add any plugins back that allow external requests. What content will be available on the marketplace? Literally anything. It could be a plugin configuration, it could be a build, it could be a server setup, it could be a script. Like I would say anything that people use on Minehut. On the server list, yeah. So it would likely just be on paid server plans. Like free server plans, it's nice for them to, tell that it's a Minehut server a little bit, give us a little shout out. But for paid ones, yeah, I think in the future we'll let people change their server icon. Fixing UL and slash DL. We recently switched to a different service for it, and it's been working for the last couple of weeks. If that service stops working, we can find a new one. Elaborate taking the cutoff of marketplace. So if people were allowed to like post their own worlds that they could sell it to Minehut users, we would just take a cut of the sales. Any plans on the spammy terrible advertisements in the lobby chat? Yeah, there are some active discussions going on about what we can do for that. Will there be HTTP request plugins in the near future or in the future at all? I just addressed that. How will you fight lobby spam? We're working on some kind of more automated ways to deal with that. Um, we're working on it. I know that we haven't done great with our filter, and that just like a keyword filter isn't ideal. But yeah, we're working on a few more automated ways to do that. Would marketplace be removed? No, marketplace is more of a way to like find somebody to help you out. Like if we had our own marketplace, it would be where you can just like buy a pre-made build. Bot boosted servers are still going to be allowed. The staff are currently discussing that, and we'll if I don't want to promise I'm posting an update, but if we need to, we'll post an update on that. I'm gonna grab some water real quick while you guys add some more questions. Okay, just send back down. Let me go catch back up. Resume. And then Ryan's about to put something in the events channel, I think. Oh, and by the way, I think Benny was accidentally deleting a few messages about questions not related to the update. Feel free to go back and put any questions you guys have about anything. Doesn't matter. It's an AMA, not an AMU. Okay, so resuming with Mickey's questions. How is chat control coming along? We are running our own version of our own chat filter. We haven't done many updates to it recently. It's just kind of a keyword filter. I know that we have some like a CAPTCHA thing for bots that's been in development that never got released that we're going to, I think, be revisiting next week. But otherwise, we're just looking at some other more automated tools to help us with moderating chat. More Trent and Michael tutorials. It's been really hard to record lately, both just with the time and also my setup at home isn't that great. I don't know if you noticed, but the tutorials that we did do, like there was some hissing and stuff like that. Like the sound quality wasn't great. So we're trying to figure out what else we can do. We just been kind of busy with like this update. And then if you saw that we had like the UPenn relays event yesterday on Minehut, that kind of took up the production team's time, so we haven't been able to look into it much lately. But probably, but we're also looking to see if there's anybody else that can help out with recording them. Forum redesign back to 2017. I mean, those were Luke's forums that he hosted that he shut down. For forum redesign, we're using a third-party company for it called Envision. It's like Zenforo, only different. We I don't know. We potentially could. I think it's a pretty flat, clean design, but yeah, we could revisit it. The problem is none of the designers that we have are good at forum design, so we would have to find somebody to help with that. When will builder applications open? I don't know, to be honest. I don't handle that. Club approval quicker. Yeah, to be honest, sorry. We haven't been getting those that quick lately. We'll go through and clear those out later today if we can. Why are reactions disabled in general? I didn't set that. I don't know. DMs. Yeah, you sent me a hard thanks. How's Cloudflare Spectrum? They haven't stopped everything, but they've been pretty solid. And one nice thing about Cloudflare Spectrum is that it has this thing called like Argo Smart Routing, where when we were on like our previous host, like OVH, if you're in Australia and you want to connect to Minehut, you have to like go through like 20 hops or like a bunch of different servers before you get to our server. With Cloudflare Spectrum, you go to their Cloudflare peer in Australia, and then almost directly to our data center. So ping is actually a bit better. If you're noticing any network lag, it's just because our Bungee has a little bit more responsibilities, so it has to do more things, so it runs a little bit hotter. But we've also been running way more Bungees lately to try to address that to make sure it doesn't lag. I've tested that resetting a server doesn't work properly. I saw that posted, I think either last night or this morning. I put it in our Slack, but we work Monday through Fridays unless there are like critical issues on weekends. So we'll probably take a look at it this week. Why do you have like 200 different emotes? Some aren't the best and rarely used. Who wants to see Benny sick and Obama salute? I mean, I want to see Obama salute. Um, don't be a hater. And yeah, we definitely do need 40 particle emojis. He's a very expressive person. Why do we run an outdated and unstable version of script? It's not unstable. We just simply removed a couple of things from their version. We didn't like change how things worked. Outdated just because we have to run a custom version and it takes work to update. So, and like I've been saying earlier, like we haven't been the best at updating plugins consistently. What do I mean by unstable? Are you asking somebody else? Why did Minehut turn from a project into someone's room to a service hosted by a corporate conglomerate? Man, you make us sound fancy. With its first intention to make money rather than make the service better. We definitely want to make the service better. Like the update that we just did made it cheaper for everybody to host their service monthly. And like I don't know if you noticed, but the other updates that we added, like making it so people can actually get support on their server, making sure that their servers don't crash and reset all the time, and that Minehut itself doesn't crash all the time. Um, like and making the panel better. Like we've done a lot to improve Minehut. I don't really agree with your positioning there. But I mean, yes, we are a company. We do want to make money. Even when Luke was running this, he wanted to make money. That's why he did it. Like that's like he of course did it because it was a fun project. But I mean, you don't do something like this and just want to do it because it's fun and lose a bunch of money on it. If there's a CAPTCHA, will rank players have a bypass it for it? Maybe. I think it would also just be your first login, not every login. Why not run script 2.14 barely updated? Yeah, I mean, again, we're just running a custom fork. Seems like quite the task. Do you guys have a plugins team? Minecoder was hired to help out with that, but he's also been helping out with development. So we're actually looking into hiring somebody to help out with that, just because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Raise plugin cap. I've already addressed the plugin cap, and I'm going to delete that message because of the reactions. Okay, set the plugin limit to 12 instead of 20 instead of 12. I already addressed that. It's, yeah. Where are the Minehut servers hosted? They're on the East Coast, USA. I can't remember. It's either Virginia or North Carolina. I can't remember which. Okay. How does it help the community? And this is just a test phase or a perm thing. It's not a test phase, but like I've been saying, like we'll see how people use things, and we'll make sure that we make things optimal for people, and we're not going to have features that people don't use a bunch or plans that people don't pay for, so we can always update them. How does this help the community? It makes it actually affordable to host your server for a month on Minehut, whereas previously servers were outgrowing Minehut very easily. Once they needed to upgrade their server for more than a couple of days, it was really expensive. So this helps them grow their server without growing us more. And that's a lot of what we're focused around for making sure that people are, it's a really solid, stable service to play with a couple of friends with survival, which is what most of our users are. And then also for our communities that also help us bring in players to make sure that, as they're building their community off of Minehut's player base, that they don't get to a point where Minehut is no longer suitable for them to host their server. So we're making sure that we address that as well. Separate the plugin limit increased by credits per month for those who are there just for plugins. Somebody brought that up earlier, just like an unlimited plugin plan or something like that. I would say that that's the same as we'll see how people are using the server plans, and if it makes sense to have $1 or a couple of dollar a month plan for unlimited plugins, we could, but it's 25 cents a day, or 2 days worth of votes to upgrade your server to be able to do plugins. What was the point in the plugin limit? I'm not affected by it, but it seems like the 11 plugin limit is too low. It's a 12 plugin limit. The point of the plugin limit is most people weren't paying us any money, and we've been growing a lot, and nobody's been paying us any money. So we need to make it easier and better for people to pay us money. Why do we re-add plugin limits? I just answered that. When are you guys working on adding a player console? That's not immediately. That's definitely something that we want to do. It's just not, we're working on some more monetization features in the near term. What happened to Good Grief? We were getting 50 to 70 viewers a stream, and it wasn't growing us at all. With YouTube, we've been, we were over 1 million views, and YouTube actually brings in a lot of new players as well as helps educate our current players. Why not Donald Trump salute? Yikes. Will there ever be options for custom domains? There already are. Removing hub and lobby functionality, unlikely. Are you doing this in a studio or your mom's house? Because we heard your mom in the background. No. Are you adding co-users? It's been talked about for years. Not. We actually just had that discussion again, where I believe Superleague is actually building out like a permission service for some of the stuff that they need. So we were going to see if we could use that. But otherwise, that's something that we might be adding there, that we will add at some point in the future. It's just not on like the next couple of weeks roadmap. What happened to the plans to release backups? We started crashing a lot, and we had to rewrite a lot of things. Does Luke work for Superleague? Sorry, to get back to backups. Where I believe that's one of the things on the shorter term roadmap. No, Luke's a college student. Luke interned for Superleague before we bought Minehut from him, and then after we bought Minehut from him, he was a consultant to help with the transition for like 6 or 7 months. Have you considered bringing back the support team? Yeah, we've been talking about it again recently. Now that the staff team has stabilized a little bit more, we have a lot of people that are asking for help in the help chats and stuff, and we want to make sure that we can answer them as best possible. So yeah, we've been the staff team's been talking about that again recently. Honk honk. Sub user would be cool. Yeah, we don't recommend sharing accounts. So yes, I know that a lot of people have lost a lot of hard work because they have no other option than to share their account. So yes, that's something we definitely want to do. Help answer support tickets? No, just because that like the no, to be honest, it would only be in the community support. The people that answer support tickets are like on contracts and stuff. We wouldn't want to be giving people access to support tickets, and like that would also give you access to user account information. We don't want to give that out to anybody. We have like actual compliance rules around who has access to user data, and it's extremely limited. Lower ranked than VIP. We might update the ranks in the future again, but that's not something that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks. Do you have anything to tell us about this update that you don't think was mentioned? Maybe where we can look at Minehut in a few years from now. How's YouTuber ranks going to work, and will it be in the community or will it be the past based on small event advertisements? YouTube. So I'll do the YouTuber, then I'll go back to the first part. YouTuber is more just that, like there have been some smaller YouTubers recording in Minehut recently, and we're also looking to bring some more in to give them a reason to, because it helps us grow. So we figure that if we can get some YouTubers recording, and all we have to do is give them a couple of credits, and they're able to kind of do a lot with it. That yeah, like there's really no reason for us not to, and it's a great way for us to kind of give back to the people that are recording on Minehut and doing us a favor, and also a good way for us to help with some YouTubers that need a place to host their server. And then kind of like where can we expect Minehut in a few years from now? Like my vision is that it's a marketplace, and it's just as viable on both Bedrock and Java Edition, where you can buy a server template, or all these worlds that you see on Reddit or Planet Minecraft or Mojang posted about. Like they just posted that COVID-19 pandemic world that you can play through. That like the Vuboy even tweeted about it. I saw the other day, like one of the Mojang executives, like things like that, where players could just one click install that. Um, so I would love for that to be possible. And then also for people to kind of be able to use Minehut for everything that they need to do with their server, rather than needing Bycraft and a bunch of other third-party services. What happens if there's another data breach? We're doing a lot of work to make sure that there's not. Um, will gifting credits or server packages be released? Gifting server packages. We've talked about like letting people buy a Bycraft equivalent only credits that every Minehut server could run, including free servers. Um, so that, but we're never going to let people gift credits, mainly because we've given out a lot of credits to the point where there are a lot of credits that people didn't actually pay money for. So we don't want people being able to kind of take advantage of all of those and being able to buy a bunch of things without actually paying us money. Are there any plans to add a console to the dashboard? I answered that a few minutes ago. Yes, we want to. It's somewhat complex, and it's not going to happen in the near future, but yes, we want to. Oh, is there anything, tell us about the update that you don't think is mentioned? No, I don't think so. We also were able to do a lot of like smaller fixes with it. Zero Particle did a really good job on it. Like he made it so it's a lot more clear, if your server is actually on the latest server plan, or if we used to get a lot of questions where somebody would upgrade their server but not hibernate it, and then not understand why they don't have more RAM. So there are some small things like that that make it a lot easier, and then also that this is kind of the first step to being able to edit your server or some of your server while offline. So like being able to edit your plugins if you're over the limit, because plugins and server settings are stored in a database and not actually like within your server zip. We can let you edit some of those things, and then just apply it whenever your server starts up. But like we would never be able to let you have access to the file manager without actually activating your server. But yeah, that's actually one of the things is we're going to work on letting you edit pieces of your server while it's offline. Archon support. I don't know, to be honest. I never really used Archon myself. Maybe. I don't know how it works enough to give a solid answer on it if it would be secure or not. Available on mobile, it already is. How long did it take to make it so Bedrock could connect to a server? So the way that we used to do it was through there's a project called Dragon Proxy, and we actually forked it. We had our own version of it, and we had a full-time developer working on it, and it was barely viable. It was really difficult. But now we're actually just using a public project, an open source project with some very small modifications to it. It's called Geyser. So the guy that makes it is actually in this Discord. He's really cool. He's also in our meta Discord, and he looks at all like the bugs that you guys report for Bedrock. And he was responding to a lot of them, and then like he also just keeps an eye on those to know how it's being used, because I think we're the biggest server using it. Stop geyser commands in game. I have people have been asking about that recently. I don't know. We'll take a look at that. How have you guys so long without needing to push an update like this? I mean, in the last month, we've more than tripled in size. Bold ranks, we might make rank updates, but I think bold chat's really ugly, so I don't know. Not using guests from the past due to data breach to improve. This is a passive witness on their demands, and I mean, the people that did the data breaches are not working for Minehut. Have I seen the last 2 episodes of Star Wars or Clone Wars? No, I've never watched that show. Why can staff members ask unrelated questions? Oh, I addressed that when I came back. You can ask questions about anything you want. Sorry for having some of those accidentally deleted before, but feel free to ask whatever. Literally AMA. Why do you censor anyone who isn't staff? We're not censoring anybody. If your question was deleted because it was random, sorry. I didn't tell the mods correctly what they should be deleting. So, but now you can ask whatever. Who is Geyser's owner plugin dev? It's done by a team, so you can take a look at their website. It's like geysermc.org, I think. What do you have planned for when Minecraft 1.16 is released based on spawn? Um, on our spawn? I don't know, but when 1.16 is released, we'll try to update to it as quickly as possible, like we do for all updates. We'll be on 1.152 still with just a protocol hack like we always are, so that way 1.16 users can join, and then as soon as enough plugins are updated and a viable version of Spigot is released, we'll update as quick as we can. Please remove the plugin limit. I've already talked about that quite a few times. Could you think of any other ways to make money? Please listen to me. I mean, we definitely want to make money other ways, but this we pay for the servers and people weren't paying us for the servers. And like obviously we're a free service and we want to offer as many free servers as possible, but we also want to make sure that we can pay for it. Do you hope that once you get back to the studio to do some live streams? So we actually ran like this relay event yesterday that I know some of the staff helped out with. That was really cool. So I think we're actually looking at potentially doing like our own version of that and live streaming it on YouTube. But yeah, once we can get back into the studio, I would love to do some more stuff in the studio. The Minecraft chat is the reason Minecraft had to prompt you before entering multiplayer. I know, right? Dude, seriously. Can we ask anything? Yes. Sub users, I just talked about that a minute ago. I'm not sure what you, yes, you can expect to see it. It's just not something that's on like the roadmap for the next month or so. How many eggs do I have? I think I have like a dozen and a half eggs was the last time I bought eggs. Official Minehut merch. Oh, dude. So right before the pandemic happened, we were actually working on designing some hoodies, but then we grew a lot and our server and cost increased a lot, and our the people that print merch are no longer allowed to be at the print shops. So it's we're kind of in a bad spot right now to get merch. But yes, I actually really want to do some merch. It was just the last stuff wasn't that cool to be honest, and it's in a bit like my shirt's buried in my closet. Um, so I want to get us some cool stuff that like you want to wear in public. Script YAML, maybe I think that one allowed you to like edit any file, and there was a reason that we didn't add it at the time. Maybe we can revisit it. On all the memes regarding a Minehut logo and a casket, we had more players on today than yesterday, so we also had more people pay today than any other day this month. So I would say they're wrong. Add manager back. We didn't remove the rank. We just kind of felt like it was best to have a group of senior mods right now. If we feel like there's anybody that's fit for the rank, potentially. Is Meta Discord going to be changed soon? Yeah, now that Facto's back, he's going to be helping out with that. So he's going to be chatting with me more directly about like kind of what the roadmap is and trying to make sure that we get you guys a little bit more information on what's coming and what we're working on, and if updates are delayed or something, like why. We've applied to Discord partner 10 times. We also have a contact at Discord that we've emailed about it, and they've rejected us every single time. Minehut Disney trip. I'm in LA, so we can go to Disneyland. SK Mirror, I already addressed that. We're not going to add anything. Opinion, I already told you that. I don't know why you're asking Minecoder to remove the plugin limit, but I just addressed that. Remember, not Trent, yes. Why is there spawn protection automatically created on each Minehut server? Because it's automatically created on every Minecraft server. Pineapples or apples? Definitely pineapples. Um, if we phrase it as a question, are we able to get posted without getting censored? You censor people so much. We only censor things that break rules. Um, when merch is eventually released, will there ever be sort of a discrete option? Oh, so some people don't. Yeah, we want to make it so like you're willing to wear it in public, not so it's like, hey, I'm a or a Minecraft nerd. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we know that people don't like to do that. What is Geyser? It's a public project that anybody can use on any Minecraft server. Um, that yeah. Opinion on toilet hut memes. You've asked the same question 3 times. Is there any progress on making the spawn protection setting less glitchy or laggy when blocks are broken? It's not us. That's just Minecraft. Fan art channel. I think we used to have an art channel that wasn't very active and had just a lot of bad stuff in it, but maybe. What give my player kind of a month or so. I will give it a month. Thank you. Thoughts on pineapple on pizza? I usually only eat pizza with pineapple on it unless it's like a really good margarita pizza. Apple on pizza, have never had it. I don't think. Pineapple on pizza, heck yes. Um, how do you plan on addressing the influx of OGs and older players leaving Minehut? I mean, we can never make everybody happy. I know that a lot of people were really happy because we just offered so much for free. Um, and now we need to be able to make money on it and not offer so much for free. So that enable reactions. Okay, again. Minehut sports event similar to the UPenn relays. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. I would love to do that. Now that we come up with the framework to run it, we just have to build our own version of it. Thoughts on all memes surrounding Minehut in general? I love memes. I think they're cool. I think it's a crazy thing to have memes made of you. I don't know if you guys have had that, but it's kind of crazy. I send a lot of them to like my family and stuff, and I'm like, hey guys, look, like that texture pack that somebody made with Trent, like just all of my avatar in it. I thought that was hilarious. When people make mean stuff, which they do, that's not cool. Coconut or nut? I'm not huge into coconut. Apple. I really like Honeycrisp. Minehut meme review by Trent and Michael. I would do a meme review if somebody compiled them for me. Will anything similar to UPenn partnership be happening anytime soon? Yeah, so Superleague has a partnerships team that like actively works on finding partnerships. Right now, with everything, all like IRL events being canceled, we're working on like talking to different people about doing like concerts or other things in Minehut to kind of help replace their IRL events. Otherwise, um, we're always talking about like we did that Angry Birds thing last year, so like we're always trying to do more things like that because obviously that helps us pay for the free servers and makes it so we don't have to limit things. But otherwise, right now, just nobody's really paying much money for anything in terms of advertising or sponsorships. We'll be making more advanced script tutorials. I'm going to let you in on a secret. I don't know script. Everything that I do in the tutorials, I learn an hour before I do the tutorials. So I would need to learn more script for that. Can I get a scholarship to UPenn indirectly from you for grad school? No. What is Michael's job at SLG? He is a development producer or something like that, I think. So he helps with like that UPenn event we did yesterday. He produced that entire thing. Um, and we do a lot of stuff with like Top Golf and World Golf Tour. He does like all of our streams and everything. Like he does a really good job. Um, what is my job title? I think people have linked my LinkedIn before. I'm the director of product management. So Minehut is technically a product, and it is one of the things that I manage. So I manage Minehut, and then I also manage we just did it. We were doing like a PUBG league, and we work with a few other games. So like I work with like any gaming technology that we do, and like how we integrate with gaming technology and APIs. Giving people roles or credits or rewards for people who make good suggestions. Suggestions, that's tough. But I like bug reports if people like make valid bug reports or something. I think we could like do bug bounties and stuff. Um, we've actually done security bounties before, and we've worked with security companies to do like pen testing and stuff like that. So I'm definitely open to like bug bounties and things like that if anybody finds issues, especially any like major or critical issues. I would much rather have people report them than exploit them or just live with the bugs. bringing back Minehut app for mobile users. Like I addressed that at the beginning of the AMA. Not in the near term. Um, mobile because yeah. So that being said, we're working on a better mobile design for the site. So we're working on making it mobile friendly. Um, host a creative side on Minehut for the YouTube channel. Um, we've done that a few times. Usually it's with like sponsor competitions. It doesn't really get that many participants, and it doesn't really do that well in terms of live streams or video views. So it's kind of tough. I would rather do like an esport event or something. Honeycrisp is the best Apple 2020 confirmed. Um, value. So I don't know if you know. Yeah, the University of Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota. They actually created the Honeycrisp apple. So it was actually really big in my home state. So yes, Minehut meetup. I was planning on going to the Minecraft festival, and I really wanted to do one there. So I would love to do a. I was planning on doing a meetup there. I had like just gotten approved to buy my plane ticket and flight for the Minecraft festival, and then that like the next day it was like we're stuck working from home. Favorite video game other than Minecraft? I have like 2,500 hours in Counter Strike, and I don't play anything other than that. Any Discord events? The mods handle the events. I try to stay focused on features and stuff like that. Transmitter Bossman for me. Oh boy. Um, when will Starboard be added? I don't know. Um, I'll let the mods handle that. Do I watch anime? No, I don't watch anime actually. Do I love you? Yes. What about Minehead Olympics? Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah, we would love to do something like that. I do not live with my mom anymore. Minehead Meetup Minecraft Festival 2021. Yes, absolutely. Integrated flush support. Nice. I don't, integrated flush support, but does the flushing always work? Um, Modern Warfare events for credits. I mean, we say that um, we're kid friendly, so it wouldn't be the best for us to host a Modern Warfare event. Do I have a girlfriend? I don't talk about my personal life. People have doxed me and done bad things, so I keep my personal life separate from the community. Um, Apple game Honeycrisp Apple server. I had an SMP server at the start of the pandemic here, and I didn't get to play on it very much because I was busy. So I wouldn't want to leave my fellow Honeycrisp Apple enthusiasts in the dark. So I'm not going to commit to making a server that I won't be able to play on much. Sorry, I was just grabbing some water. If Minehut servers start being professional under the Minehut name, will there eventually be a Minehut convention in game? Sure. I mean, that sounds like a cool idea. With actual money, not for credits for bug bounties. Yes, we've rewarded with people with money for bug bounties. Advertising your server like a paid feature. Yeah, I addressed that earlier. Like the featured servers on the in-game dashboard or the in-game menu, making that as like an auction or something like that. We have more people visiting our lobby than the MinecraftServers.org and MinecraftServerlist.com. And people pay $30,000 a month to be listed there. So I'm not expecting us to make $30,000 a month on people listing in game, but I think it's definitely valuable real estate that we could sell. Does Toilet Hut always support flushes? Is there a limit for flushes? 12 flushes a day. What about partner minded servers? I not probably not. I don't know how that would help us grow Minehut. Really, I would rather focus on other things. Um, thoughts on Hail, SNTub, SLG returning to Minehut? I mean, I love when servers return to Minehut. I know that Nick already always does some really cool custom stuff, so would love to see that. How much water do I drink on a daily basis? Usually like 2 Yetis full. What did you have to eat last? I had a Hawaiian food for lunch, teriyaki chicken, rice, and mac, like the mac or something. We only flush 10 times. How many times can you flush your server down the drain? Um, I would say it's grown quite a lot lately, so I would disagree. My favorite food is probably French toast. How many messages on Discord are not able to send each month? Do you prefer a tame cat or a wolf in Minecraft? I'm allergic to cats. Um, yeah, shoot, the 3 slots and then maybe one like picked server. Yeah, that's what we've talked about, like having a combination of like auctioned and then maybe like a really cool custom server or something. So maybe I'm gonna quit answering toilet questions. This channel will be renamed to Trent AMA. I actually wasn't the one that set it up. CO2 did. 2 Yetis full, like a big Yeti. Um, like if you've got a Yeti tumbler, I don't. It doesn't say how big this is. Um, 32 ounces, I guess maybe. Official servers like Warzone was. No immediate plans, just because it's a lot of work to run. I drink like 6 cups of coffee every single day. All right, some background noise. Cocoa Puffs. I actually do like. I like Reese's Puffs. Do stuff like official Skyblock server. I just answered that. It's just a lot of work, so not in the near future. Um, yeah, so we've actually had some like people that were putting on concerts that want to host concerts on Minehut, and then have people like pay to attend the concert. So that's similar to what the Minehut convention idea that you have there. Maybe, but I don't know that. Like, can you like just think about how much people would be willing to pay and how many people would be willing to pay it? I can't imagine it would be that many compared to the millions of users we have every single month that host free servers. How many DMs do I get a day? I usually have around 100 DM conversations every day. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but usually around about 100. And I do respond to all of them that aren't spam. So if you ever need to like ask me something, or like if people are spamming me, ask me for support, like, hey, my server broke. I usually like if I usually respond saying to go ask and help, or sometimes I don't get to respond to all those. But if anybody like asks me a legit question or just wants to chat, I'm always happy to chat in DM. A lot of playing with mod packs. I did answer that earlier, but I'm happy to explain why. It's just that it would have to support a separate server platform with separate plugins and things like that. So it would have to completely change how Minehut works, and it would be a lot of work to do. But it's something that I would like to do in the future. Prepared for the summer. We saw our summer growth in March, and we did pretty well with it. So I would say yes. For me in LA, it gets really hot, but it was already really hot today. Favorite thing to work on with Minehut? I to be honest, I think the YouTube videos. It's really fun recording videos and then seeing people watch them. It's pretty cool. Big Yeti, that's a lot. You're supposed to drink a gallon a day, right? Like, what is your opinion on Kingdoms? I thought they shut down. That was a shame to see because they were a really cool service. But I mean, it's hard to run a service like this, so that kind of sucks. But no, those guys were really nice. We actually chatted a lot. And like whenever we found like an exploit on our server that was potentially gonna be an issue for them, we always let them know. So yeah, we no, they were all really nice people. Need dipping tacos in coffee. It's not something I would do, but I mean whatever. Um, would you rather have Gingy or French toast? I like French toast. Can you say Kingdoms since it's offline now? Reopening now that a lot of people are leaving Minehut. Cool. I mean, good luck to them. Um, daily routine. Okay. This will be fun. So my team at Superleague has a daily stand up or a daily meeting every day at 9:30 where we just kind of like say what we did yesterday, what we're doing today, and if like we need help with anything or if there are any issues, then we get to like ask our boss questions and things like that. So I usually wake up at about 9:20. My coffee is set to brew at like 9:15. So I wake up, shower in like 5 minutes, and then hop on pour myself a cup of coffee and hop on my computer at 9:30 for that. I usually have a few morning meetings, and then like during those meetings, I'll respond to all my Discord questions from the night before, and then I usually have a few hours to work, and then I have a meeting every day at 2 o'clock where I update the company on what's going on in Minehut, how it's going, what the community's saying, and kind of like how the feature development's going and things like that. And then like everybody that's working on Minehut has a chance to kind of update on how things are going and what they're doing. So that happens every day at 2 o'clock. And then other than that, usually just kind of working on things until about 6 or 7 or 10 o'clock at night. And then I'm like right now, it's hard to separate work from personal stuff, so I'm usually on Discord most of the night. If I'm not on Discord or not online, I'm usually like I've been going on a lot of drives lately. So LA is notorious for our terrible traffic, so I've been going on a lot of really long drives where I can get somewhere in 5 minutes that used to take me an hour. Seriously. Will mods get paid? It's tough because it's a lot of people. We're doing things to make sure that their job's more fun and that it's not a job. It's more it's like it used to be a lot more fun, and I know right now it's not as much as it used to be. But will they ever get paid? We don't really make enough money to pay them right now. But I do agree that they do something that is like a job, and they do a lot of really good work. But it's for now, it's still a volunteer position. And this event, if you want to be professional, what's the sync link? How much is hot water? Whatever. External server support ever come back? I answered that like a while ago, but I'll answer it again. It would be very expensive and almost not worth it from the people that I've talked to about how much they'd be willing to pay for it. Just because we'd have to open up Minehut's network a little bit, and it would be a security risk, but also that bandwidth is really expensive, and they would have to they wouldn't want to host their servers where we host our servers, so it would be very expensive for both of us to do it. A specific group of trusted users, or I mean, it doesn't matter who runs it, it's just expensive. Do you play Minehut on an alt account to give me a community point of view vibe? I idle in the lobby and I watch chat, and I also watch Discord chat, and I read almost every message sent in general. I read every message sent to the meta Discord, um, and I do a pretty good job of keeping up with it. But I also try to respond to DMs and make sure that people can talk to me about things. But I'm gonna start reaching out to some people more in the near future about how things are going, because I think that we should be doing a little bit more. But no, I don't play on an alt account. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you, of course. That's why they resigned in the end. Yeah, I mean, I know it hasn't been as much fun lately as it should be, so we're working on that. Random server button, just because it truly is random, and the API doesn't know if the server's whitelisted, so we need to move that to the whitelist, or to the API, so we can actually tell if a server's whitelisted before we send a player to it. What is the best outside temperature? I like 75 to 80 degrees. So LA is a pretty great place to live. Is Minehut cool with CubeCraft hosting? Yeah, I don't really talk to those guys that much, but I mean, I don't have any animosity toward anybody. I think that competitors are great and cool, and it's nice to have other people challenge us to make sure that we're always doing better. And it's also nice to talk about things. Like I actually, um, I think a month or two ago, I actually had a few calls with like the owner of Eternos just to talk about how things are going and stuff. So it's always nice to chat with people and see that they're running into the same problems that we are often. Is it true that you paid Wi-Fi's funeral to tell you how he exploited Scriptmere and Requiem? I maybe. Like I said earlier, we've paid people for bug bounties. I can't remember exactly who. Any competitors similar to Kingdoms? I would say that Server.pro and Eternos are our biggest competitors. Um, Mexican food or Italian food? I mean, I'm really into like mole, but I'm also really into Italian food. I love pasta. I love gnocchi. I love bruschetta. I love margarita pizza. All senior mods are managers now. No, all senior mods are senior mods. Servers like Eternals get over 100K players online. Yeah, but they don't have their Discord's like a third of the size of ours, and they don't have a network, and it's harder to grow those servers. Like Minehut, 75% of Minehut's player base is people playing survival with one or two friends. 100% of Eternals player base is playing survival with a couple of friends. Do I like my job? I get paid to run a big Minecraft community and do gaming stuff. Yes, I love my job. Why are the Order of the Minor Discord roles rainbow? I didn't set those. I don't love our colors, but they're not. It doesn't make me mad enough to want to change them. Kingdoms was closest we got to it as a competitor. I would disagree, just because um, they had similar feature set, but they were never close to us in size. That's not to like belittle them or anything. I think they were cool, and I'm glad that I'm glad they were doing what they were doing. But um, I more consider Eternos and Server.pro our two main competitors. Why do so many senior mods have anime profile pictures? It's disappointing, but again, not doesn't make me mad enough to do something about it. A big weeb, yeah. Help any mods? I have a problem. Please ask on a different channel. Oh, Caleb, what's up, dude? I gotta respond to you. I got back and hopped right on here. Sorry. Um, when it comes to the best girls, I have the best one. Not a great thing to say. Um, why is this a meme? My meme channel down? I don't know. How's my dog? He's good. Um, the dog on my profile picture is not my dog. It's somebody's dog at the office named Echo. He's really cute. He's like a golden lab or something like that. Um, but yeah, when can we blow up the Minehut lobby? I don't know. How do you feel about the server hosts attempting to go against Minehut? Maybe ask that question again. I'm not sure what you say, but um, yeah, I mean, competition's good. Like, I literally put a comparison chart on the homepage, which I know has something that's incorrect that we're going to fix. But otherwise, yeah, competition's good. Invite link to the meta Discord. It got raided last night, so we got rid of all the invites, but we'll add it back again soon. Entire first row top servers violate the EULA, enforcing this if they get reported. Again, we don't enforce Mojang's EULA, we enforce our own terms of service. So, I mean, if you see a server violating the EULA, you should report it to Microsoft if you want anything to be done about it. How do we plan on enforcing this if they get reported? Mojang has reached out to us in the past if a server violates the EULA, and we pass that report on to the server owner. There's actually still, I think it's is it South Park or something? There's a server that's still blacklisted on Minehut right now by Mojang. So I think it's southpark.minehut.gg. So if you try to connect to that and it says like network unreachable, that means it's blacklisted. Will Good Grief ever return to Minehut or to Superleague? It only got like 50 to 70 viewers. Our tutorials, one of our tutorials has like 200,000 views, so those just do a lot better. Where's my jewel? Let's not talk about drugs. Will there be a public roadmap? Yeah, we just yeah I addressed that a minute ago, but yeah, we're gonna work on trying to get a little bit more information about kind of what to expect coming forward. But it's the reason I haven't posted anything like that in the past is just because it's difficult because we haven't been able to stick to deadlines because we grow and then we start crashing and we have to like rewrite another service or we get DDoS and we have to fix our DDoS protection or like somebody finds an exploit and we have to fix that security issue. So like it's been very difficult to put out a public roadmap, but now that we have more people working on Minehut and different people working on different things, it'll be a little bit easier too. How many bungees? Minecoder, I think it's if you're still in here, I think it's 50. He can answer that. I can't remember exactly how many. I know we were running up to 100 at one point. We're running like way more than Hypixel even does. Do you think you get paid enough for what I do? Yes. Um, if I didn't, I would do something about it. So I could literally violate all the EULA and not get in trouble on Minehut. We don't enforce the EULA, but your server could get reported. Um, Mortal Minds advertising your experience with password. I don't know what password is. And the Mortal Minds advertising. It's not password. It's I forgot his name, but they talk about in some of the server owner chats. It's the same dude doing it, and it's really annoying. And we've reported it to Discord, and Discord has even said that they're going to do something about it. And they say that they even posted an update to like all public servers through their Discord announcement thing, saying that it won't happen anymore. And then like literally that day, we had another 1,000 bots join the server. So it's very frustrating, and we've reported it to Discord multiple times. Minehut is a lot better secure compared to where it was in Data Breach. Yes, we've completely rewritten most of Minehut. I know that the same people that did the data breaches before are continuing to still try to breach us, and we watch them and we see that they haven't been able to get anywhere. What do I think of VR? I don't have a VR headset. I played Beat Saber one time. It was pretty cool. Um, do you like Nutella from Italy? I didn't have Nutella when I was in Italy. I've traveled internationally once. I don't hate Nutella, but I don't eat it often. Are all mods robots? I can't confirm or deny that. So guys, go use your hack clients and raid Minehut public servers. Let's not. I don't. What's so negative? Plan to allow custom plugins. We don't like. I'm not sure if we're ever going to be able to get there, but like our goal is definitely to get there eventually. Um, Oh shoot, I tabbed over to a different channel and now I lost my spot. Sorry, let me catch up. How do you apply for the events team? It's all staff. Oh, and then if it, like our goal is to get to the point where we can upload custom plugins. All right, well, hopefully that person will just get banned in a second here. All right, am I against on-staff teams? The reason that we got rid of the teams initially is because I felt like I wanted to make sure that the staff were helping people out and supporting things, and it also kind of got tough because anybody that we give an official tag to, then people see them as representing Minehut. So when they go off and break rules and stuff like that, it's a big deal. So it's just more people to keep track of. So that's why like the people that have tags have like gone through training and have like agreed to, like do a good job and stuff, and they generally do. I think they do a fantastic job. What's your favorite lobby? 13. Favorite feature? Oh, 70 bungees. Nice. Favorite other featured servers? To be honest, I don't remember them that well. There was like the GTA one. That was pretty cool, but otherwise I don't remember them too well, to be honest. I've hopped around a lot of servers. You just joined South Park. I can't remember what it was. I'll find the name after this. In an ideal world, what would Minet's pricing be? I mean, right now it's like incredibly cheap. The only thing is the top tier is pretty expensive, so I want to get that down to like $40-ish or so. But it's at a price right now, it's about as cheap as we can make it. So we're working on finding like a different setup though where we can make it cheaper. On the spork, sporks are neither a spoon or a fork, so I would prefer to use something that's actually what it's used made for. Opinion on faction servers on Minehut. I mean, I maintain my own version of factions, so I like factions. Um, Gen PvP servers, BAD. Oh, I wanted to put on the homepage, like those stats on the homepage that say like 30 terabytes of servers hosted, like however many millions of users or whatever. Or it was like 1.2 million servers hosted. I wanted to put like 1.1 million Gen PvP servers hosted, but apparently the people at Superleague that reviewed it thought that it was true and not a meme. So we didn't put that meme on the homepage, and I put the other meme. Oh yeah, South PvP. You're right. So yeah, if you try to connect to southpvp.minehut.gg, it'll say network unreachable. Favorite type of server, sky mining servers like plus PvP. I mean, way to rub it in our, try to bring up again that they're going external. Cool, but they've been external for a while, if I remember right. I don't really have an opinion on any certain server genre. I like to see a variety, and I like to see servers that bring in players. Do I recommend servers going external? No, I mean, I understand that Minehut isn't ideal for everybody's server, but we're like, with this 24/7 plan and some of the other stuff we're working on, we're trying to make it more viable for servers to not outgrow Minehut. Which do I like more, Hail or Plex PvP? I know better than to pick favorites. Do I like OSU? No. To be honest, I don't even know what it is. I am very behind on that meme. Oh yeah, just like, dude, I played Kahoot for the first time like very recently. I was embarrassed to say, but yeah. Um, why is having an anime profile pic allowed for staff? Because I don't like to tell people what to do. What does Zero Particle do for Superleague? He's a software developer. Have I done any development myself for Minehut? I think I rewrote the scoreboard system back when Luke made Minehut. Back before we were even involved, just because I was friends with Luke. But otherwise, no, I'm not a developer at Superleague. I'm a product manager, so I don't actually write code for Superleague. But I do some coding in my free time. What has Minehut taught me as a product? That's a thought-provoking question. It's taught me to do like user surveys and do a lot of like user testing and things like that to get feedback on products before we release them. And that trying to get like rather than trying to just spend a lot of time myself overthinking things, to just try to get out like a really quick like mock-up of something and then put it in front of people and see what their reaction is, and then use that to figure out how to go about things. Will Minehut fix the rollbacks? If you're having an issue with rollbacks, submit a support ticket. Thank God Trent doesn't know what OSU is. I know. I'm 26. I'm not a boomer, but I'm also not that young. More ads on the control panel. Yeah, actually, we could add more ads. I have actually. There were more ads that were um, what was it, pitched to be added, and we decided not to. But yeah, I know we've added some more ads recently, but that's also why we let paid servers not see ads. But we're also trying to optimize our ads to make sure that they're like you don't we want to make sure that you don't accidentally click on ads. We're not trying to trick you into anything. We don't block you, like we don't prevent you from using an ad blocker, or we don't like make your server not load if you're using an ad blocker. So I don't think we're too mean about it. And we try to make them as non-intrusive as possible, but also placed so they actually make us money. Miss SN10 Hub, I miss you coming to me frequently with things that are that we can improve on Minehut that you run into when you're running your server. Customizable server plans, not in the near. We'll keep an eye on how people are using our server plans and adjust them as needed. What's wrong with having an anime profile pic? Pineapple and pizza question. I love pineapple and pizza. Rehire Luke or more devs. Luke's in college. We have a lot of developers at Superleague. We're trying to make it so Minehut makes more money so we can have more developers. So to be against this update and then to ask us to add more developers is a little bit backwards. A better option for developers to interact with the Bucket API. I mean, write a plugin and then request it to be added. Beat Saber OSU. I've never played OSU. SLG's Phoenix Blaze. Oh my god, dude. They won some Minecraft events even when they had fewer players than everybody else. It was great. What is a camel case? I'm not sure if you're memeing on me, Spectre, if you're actually asking. Why do I start up a server and get jump scared by, hey, this is Minehut? Because we want people to watch our videos. Do you know that I'm older than you? 27. I'm really surprised that you're 27 and you talk camel case. I think you're lying. Have you thought about allowing people to create and pay for ads to put on the Minehut panel? Yeah, we've talked about that. Similar to like auctioning off the serverless slots. Can you obtain a Fortnite W? I don't play Fortnite. Do you guys use more test-driven design or behavioral driven design, or are you more extreme programmers? We definitely don't do TDD or really BDD. We do more feature-driven design. But I know that some of the new engineers at the company are kind of pushing us to do a little bit more TDD. So they're like some of the recent updates have had a lot more like testing written around them. Trivia K was great. Anti-cheat client. I don't play. No. Do I like the server updates? Yes. Third-party panel. I, like our API isn't official. Okay, I think Ryan had a few people that wanted to ask questions in voice chat. Now that I've gone through all the text chat ones. Um, so, Ryan, if you're ready for those.
Yeah. Let me see if the Wilkins is still here.
All right, yeah,
cool.
sorry, I wanted to get through all the text questions and people were asking a lot of them.
Yeah, of course. All right, Wilkins, you came back just in the nick of time.
Wait, Notch has COVID? No, he lives like a couple miles from me. Oh my god, I was like, what a meme. Stop. Okay. You got me.
Wilkins, you're unservinated.
Oh. My question is, did you subscribe to Minehut?
I subscribe to Minehut. Yes, I'm subscribed. I am one of the people that has access to our YouTube channel, but on my own account, I've subscribed to us. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I was going to sue you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thanks for not having us to deal with a lawsuit. All right, who's next?
Hey, staff, just a heads up. Don't reserve and mute people. Move them to voicemail and just move them back.
I reserve muted him because I wanted him to be done.
Next up is I'm not stable.
Go for it, dude.
Where is he at?
Hey, I don't think I see him in here.
All right, that's easy.
All right.
All right. 10W.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
All right. So back to like the like development wars things. Did you say that like it could be an upcoming event, or it's like a possibility, or what?
Oh, for like the script competition or something like that?
Yeah. So like maybe for like credits, like so to get more developers known, because I know a lot of like developers that no one knows of them, and they could help a lot of people. But
Yeah, so I think the events team was gonna put out a suggestions thing or something, or they're definitely looking at more events that we could do. I probably wouldn't be involved in making that, but I would say that that sounds like a cool idea that I think the events team could look into.
All right.
But yeah, I totally
All right.
agree. Like get more developers notice, give them some reason to a challenge to make some cool things. I like the idea.
All right.
All right. Uh, Spectre, I guess is the name. Where is he? He's
Spectre,
not.
how the guy that's been talking in Camel Case. All right, let's see what his voice sounds like if his what, compared to his Camel Case. Is he in voice chat?
Oh,
Oh yeah, he
he's a
is.
VIP.
Yeah, VIP Spectre. What's
What
up,
a
dude?
rose. Oh my god.
What? Okay. What? All right. Why not make it? Make a like a platform basically so you can advertise. Like maybe you create a team where they can get like people can apply and basically they can maybe get jobs. Like okay, so basically you have a marketplace technically, but you have basically these quote unquote professionals and they can get paid in credits, but the people that want them to do the job would have to pay in real money. So you guys can make some money and but the people that are doing the job would make credits.
Yeah, so I see that kind of addresses the problem of like people wanting to be able to do more custom stuff on their server, and be able to kind of like find somebody reliable through the community. The reason I don't think we would do that approach is because if we had to like we would have to then make sure that everybody's actually doing the work, handle disputes, and then like what happens if somebody pays somebody for a project, and then that person thinks that they did it, but then the person that paid for it's like, no, it has a bug, so I don't want to pay for it. It's just it would be a lot of work to manage, which is why I think that if we added a marketplace where, and I know that we're now using the term marketplace pretty loosely, but like where somebody could post a server template that somebody could then pay for would uh, kind of get us to the same point, but do it in a way that's a little bit easier for us to moderate.
I see where you come from. Also, I don't understand what's wrong with having an anime picture, because I'm
Yeah, I
actually
mean, I
confused.
don't, as long as it's not inappropriate, I don't care.
All right. Yeah, that's it, basically.
Okay, thanks, dude. While we find the next person, what was react if you think I adopted Trent. Oh, actually, a funny story. I went to the doctor's office once with my brother. I think this was when we were teenagers or something, and we were with our mom, and we went in, and they were like, okay, like your first son's Trent. Yep. They're like, here's the clipboard that you have to fill out with all the stuff when you go to the doctor. And then the other one's like, oh, and here's the one for Brandon, and that's my brother, and it's like, oh, and he was adopted, and like the receptionist of the doctor's office was like like telling us that my brother was adopted, and it was the funniest thing. So now we still joke with that was like 15 years ago. We still tell my brother that he's adopted.
All right. Next is Slick Nicky 10.
All right, what's up, Slick Nick?
Wait. Wait. What's his alt? Ah, okay. Dog. You're muted. Nick, you're muted.
I don't think my brother uses Discord. I cannot hear you, Nick. I don't have you muted, so yeah, I can't hear you. No, shoot, dude. No, dude, shoot. Don't tell people to rate stuff or spam things. Like, do you
Hello,
like the people
Trent?
that come in and spam Mortal Minds? Like, don't tell people to spam Minehut.
We can hear you
But
now. If
all right,
he. Oh,
go ahead, Nick.
wait.
Okay, I don't
He
know why
left.
that wasn't working before. You said before that Minehut's API is unofficial. Is there any plan in the future, or even a consideration, to make an official API for
Um,
developers in the community like myself?
Not currently, but I see and understand the value in it. But not in the near future now. Like
It's unfortunate.
while we're working on all these updates, we're definitely improving our API. But it's I we're working on kind of building more features that we can more easily monetize. That I know that it would help people make some bigger, cooler servers. But I don't think it would have the benefit that some of these other things that we're working on will. But it's kind of like the server console. Like it's something that I agree that we should do. I just don't think that it's something that we're going to be doing in the short term.
Well, that's cool to hear. And another question this time about the panel. Are there any plans to change how the text editor works since it's currently not very great for something like script?
Yeah,
Like,
so yeah, after some of these bigger updates, we have some like quality of life updates in place, and one of those includes like adding line numbers to the panel or to the file manager, making it so it like asks you to confirm before you move away from the screen if you're editing a file, and like we just need to find a better text editor to insert there. So yes, absolutely.
syntax highlighting as well?
If we can find we would need to find a library that handles that for us that works with our platform. And if we're able to do that, then yes, absolutely. But I don't think that we would be developing our own syntax highlighting.
That'd be cool to hear. Also, I want to ask about Droopy. Is it ever possible to get it added to Minehut?
I what is it? I
Remember,
can't.
Droopy is something. It was something that's similar to script, but it allows you to write scripts in JavaScript instead of script.
I don't I think we removed it because it was like similar to Nashorn, where it's like a JavaScript engine and it kind of let you do a lot of things. So probably not. If I remember right, it just allowed you to do a lot of the things that like the other script add-ons we had to remove do. So um,
That makes sense.
I honestly don't remember though.
I did hear the security has improved on Minehut a lot, though, and I'm happy to hear that. So, is it still in a position where access to files would be such a bad thing?
Um, it's we're not there yet where we could open everything up, but that's our goal is to be able to. Like that's what we're working toward. I don't know if or when we'll be able to, but we definitely want to be able to relax the limits a bit. As like files specifically. No, there's not. It's tough to answer that question because yes, but no. But it would just open us up to some risk that we don't want to open ourselves up to right now.
And one last question about Minehut limitations. Recon, which is the script add-on that allows sending HTTP requests, will that ever be able to return?
Um, Potentially, but not in again, not in the short term. Like we want to let people do all those things, but um, like being able to do things like that, like there are a lot of things that you can do with it that are just not quite okay yet on Minehut. So not in the near future, but like it's our overarching goal is to be able to get to that point eventually, even if we aren't able to like fully unlock everything.
All right. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to see that Minehut has come a long way after I've been here for such a long time when there was only a few hundred players online at peak time. I really am proud of how far Minehut as a service and a community has come, and it's been a pleasure to finally get to talk to you, Sean.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. Feel free to. I mean, you DM me a lot, so keep DMing me.
Oh well. I've heard that you enjoy my creations and that you miss me being around Minehut, and I'm happy to announce here in front of you that I will be returning to Minehut.
Wow, what a platform. We'll give them a quick clap. Cool. All right. Well, hope to see more of you. All right. I got like 5 more minutes, and I got to take off. I've been doing this for longer than I realized, so we'll do like 2 more people.
All right. Next up is 1OW. I'm going to skip you just because we have 2 more people. And he's only going to do 2 more people. So,
Oh, and then while you get the next person in here, open source best source. I have a bunch of open source projects. I don't know if you like. Um, I'm very big into open source. Like I've made sure that any changes that we make to Geyser, we pull requests upstream. I like some of the changes that we made to Dragon Proxy, like that when we were running a private version of it, like we shared with those. But like you can't expect us to open source all of our like private enterprise work. Like that's not fair. But yeah, there's my most popular open source project right there.
all right.
But all right, next.
Mr. Bulliam?
All right. You've probably answered this a lot in announcements, but just out of curiosity, what is you guys' main upstream provider? Like, do you guys use AWS or
Our main what provider?
like just what you run the bungees on?
Oh, we don't really talk too much about where we're hosted. We use Cloudflare Spectrum for DDoS protection, but
Oh,
otherwise we don't disclose our hosting a little bit too much, just because we have a lot of people trying to attack us, and we don't like
yeah.
we don't like giving them any more help than we need to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
To answer Jill's question, will the Docker files GitHub repo ever be public again? I think that was just like the default server configurations. I mean, we could just post the. I mean, I don't really care. We could post that.
All right, Nady.
Hello.
Hey.
I've got a question. Will you ever add a way to like import your own plugins? So basically,
So,
you can make a.
yeah, so that, I mean, that's like adding custom plugins. We would like to be able to get to that point, but just for security reasons, we can't, because if we did that, then anybody could kind of upload anything to Minehut that could do some harm to other servers. So if we ever get to a point where we can make sure that if somebody uploaded a plugin with some bad code on it and it couldn't affect any other servers on the network, we would. But until then, we can't do that. So it's tough for us, like compared to other hosts, because we're a shared network. So that's why we can't allow it right now. All right, I got time for one more.
All right, cool. Well, W, looks like you were answering that question.
All right, so what is your like viewpoint on like having junior moderators and moderators? Do you think they like their standpoint on ever getting paid from how much work they actually do?
Yeah, so I answered that earlier, but I'll address it again. It's we don't make enough to pay them right now, to be frank. But also that I know that recently it's been a little bit more of a job for them and not as much fun. So we definitely want it to be something that's more fun and kind of give them other incentives, like being able to help out a community that they're part of anyway. So it's like we want to make it worthwhile for them and fulfilling, but it's not really we're not really in a place to be able to afford to pay them right now.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, I gotta take off right now. The dog's barking. I gotta let him out. But otherwise, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me via DM. As long as you're not spamming me or asking me to, if you can ask a question, I'll just answer it when I can. And yeah, if anybody wants to preserve the channel or like type up what I responded to. Will you take me out to dinner, Trent? If you ever come to LA, Minecoder, I will absolutely take you out to a very nice dinner. Oh, and then apparently Puro Uwu changed his name to Ruffin. Everybody give a response on if they like it or not. Is Ruffin a good name? Okay, yeah. Oh, Ruffin check. Okay, yeah. Better than Uwu. Yeah, at least he doesn't have Uwu in his name. But all right, well, yeah, feel free to reach out to me over DM. I see that a couple people already have, including this Ruffin dude. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for the chat, guys. I know that we did this on short notice, so not everybody was able to attend, and some people joined it halfway through and stuff. So if everybody still wants, I can start doing these a little bit more regularly, or I can just do another one next week that we schedule in advance a little bit, so people have a chance to get in. But otherwise, thanks, guys. I'll still be around, but I'll talk to you later.